The ghost who had descended the cliff emerged again at an unknown time, addressing the judge. Your Honor, I was really scared back then. If he had freaked out, I wouldn't have known where to hide. The king of the underworld ceased his transformation and revealed his true form, a rather plump figure. The judge replied, It seems Guanin's plan really worked. The king of the underworld chuckled. Indeed, he's now like a tamed dog, can't stir up any trouble except for a couple of barks. Their laughter suddenly choked, their mouths wide open, forgetting to close them. Their eyes were fixed on one spot. All the million ghost soldiers looked towards that direction. In the darkness, a figure emerged, walking slowly, each step seemingly causing the underworld to tremble. Sun Wukong appeared, saying, Littles, we meet again. Sun Wukong continued, You laughed well, why stop now? Laugh. Every ghost soldier covered their mouths tightly, afraid to make a sound. Sun Wukong asked, Who laughed the loudest? Millions of ghost fingers pointed at the king of the underworld. Him. The king's face turned pale, glancing around to see the judge pointing at him too. The judge, noticing the king's glare, quickly withdrew his finger. Sun Wukong commanded, Come here, let me hit you 200 times. The king of the underworld pleaded for mercy. Oh, great sage, spare me. It was just a small joke. Sun Wukong threatened. A small joke gets 200 hits. A big joke gets your head blown off. Sun Wukong's expression changed. You laughed well. He flashed, and before the king could react, his wrist was already caught. Off you go. Sun Wukong threw him like a sack, over the heads of the ghost soldiers, crashing into the Xiankong mountain. Attack! Attack! The judge roared. Millions of ghost soldiers screamed and surged forward. Let me have a good kill. Sun Wukong shouted and leaped into the fray. Instantly, countless ghost soldiers were tossed like husks. In the 5th chapter, the East Sea Dragon Palace. Little White Dragon stealthily entered the palace. Seeing the Dragon King Aoguang dozing in his seat, with no one around, she tiptoed over, gently embracing the Dragon King. A tear fell on the Dragon King's face. The Dragon King opened his eyes, startled. Child, is it really you? He pulled Little White Dragon into his arms, tears streaming down. You've finally come back? Little White Dragon wept. Father, he's dead, killed by Sun Wukong. She continued to cry. I watched him fall, powerless to do anything. The Dragon King comforted. Child, why put yourself through this? Is marrying into the heavenly court as a concubine harder than carrying a monk on a long journey? Little White Dragon firmly said, Father, you wouldn't understand, you'll never understand. The Dragon King resolved, No matter what, since you've returned this time, I won't let you go. Little White Dragon insisted, Father, you can't stop me. I believe he must be somewhere in these 3 realms. I have to find him. Father, I may have to travel even longer paths. Take care of yourself. The Dragon King said affectionately, Silly girl, a father's heart is with you. Whatever hardships you endure, my heart feels the pain. Little White Dragon trusted. Father, I'm sorry, but I believe in him, in his ideals. He will achieve them, nothing can stop him. Father, believe me. The Dragon King sighed. He. If you're determined to go, why return? Little White Dragon requested. Father, I want to borrow your eternal bead to preserve his body until I find his soul. The Dragon King sighed. Alas, what you want. How could I deny you? But the heavenly court has issued a decree. No one is to help those 4. Little White Dragon curiously asked, Father, who are they? What grudge do they have with the heavenly court? The Dragon King evaded. I don't know who the Tang monk is, to make you so obsessed. But that Sun Wukong, Zhu Beiji, Sha Wujing, they're all from the heavenly... can't say. Little White Dragon understood. All right, I won't ask. The Dragon King warned. Child, if they find out you're following these 4, it could bring disaster to our aquatic clan. Little White Dragon assured. I know. I'm always careful. A water dweller announced from outside. Report. A monkey seeks an audience, says he's surnamed Sun. The Dragon King hurriedly told Little White Dragon. Child, you should leave. Here's the eternal bead. Take it. Be very careful. Little White Dragon bid farewell. Father, goodbye. She tearfully exited the palace. Sun Wukong, waiting impatiently outside, jumped into the palace, suddenly seeing a white-clad woman approaching. The woman glanced at him and hurried past with her head lowered. Sun Wukong wondered, why does she seem familiar? In the serene back hall of the Dragon Palace, only the Dragon King and Sun Wukong remained. The rest of the aquatic beings had been dismissed, as meeting Sun Wukong could bring trouble if known by the heavens. The Dragon King asked, What brings you here, great sage? Sun Wukong replied, Nothing much, just want to borrow the Dragon King's eternal bead. The Dragon King was surprised. Ah? Sun Wukong assured, I'll return it, you can trust me. The Dragon King probed. Indeed, the great sage's reputation is known to me. How's the golden cudgel? Sun Wukong wondered. Huh? How do you know about this? It seems to have been with me since birth. The Dragon King. You really don't remember anything from before? The Dragon King sighed. Alas, a hero, reduced to this state. Sun Wukong pressed. What are you saying, Dragon King? The Dragon King changed the subject. Nothing. Why did the Tang monk die? Sun Wukong angrily said. You know, it's infuriating. Some monkey impersonated me and killed the Tang monk, ruining my chance to go to the west. But I believe he must be somewhere in these realms. I have to find him. Who knows how many shoes I'll wear out? The Dragon King sympathized. Alas, all are unfortunate souls. Sun Wukong firmly said, Don't pity me. I'm born to run errands. What about the eternal bead? The Dragon King hesitated. Actually, it's lost. Sun Wukong. Lost? If you don't want to lend, just say so. Am I going to eat you? The Dragon King joked. That's quite possible. Sun Wukong decisively said. The Dragon King is too stingy. No need to lend then. Let the Tang monk rot. Zhu Beiji lives well in a pig's body, so can Tang monk. I'm off. Sun Wukong leaped away. Ao Guang watched Sun Wukong leave, murmuring, Just like that, he's gone? He shook his head, turned around, and screamed in surprise. Standing behind him was Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong. Old, you gave the bead to your daughter, not to me.